everyone, let me introduce myself. I am Anisha Sharma from Namchi Government College, bearing roll number 18NS0010. I am here to make a video for the partial fulfillment of BSc Honours on Physics at 5th semester. This video carries 25 marks instead of 25 marks practical examination. Before starting my video, I would like to thank Department of Physics and Dr. C.P. Khatiwada of Namchi Government College and Sikkim University for providing me such a wonderful platform to make a video. And my topic for this video is field effect transistor. So now let us discuss about our topic, that is field effect transistor. Field effect transistor is a type of transistor which uses an electric field to control the flow of current. It is a three-terminal semiconductor device whose operation is based on controlled input voltage. The three terminals of FETs are gate, drain and the source. So now let us briefly discuss about the three terminals of FETs, that is source, drain and the gate. Source, it is denoted by S. Source. Source is a terminal through which electrons or holes enters the channel. Source is a terminal through which electrons or holes enters the channel. Drain, it is denoted by D. Drain, it is a terminal through which these electrons or holes leaves the channel. Conventionally, current entering at D is denoted by ID. This drain to source voltage is known as VDS. Gate, it is denoted by G. It is a terminal which modulates the conductivity of the channel. Gate to source voltage is known as VGS. Working of FETs. In FETs, current used to flow between drain and the source terminal, and this current is denoted by ID. ID is equals to drain current and this current ID can be controlled by applying voltage between the gate and the source terminal. It is denoted by VGS. And this applied voltage generates electric field within the device. And by controlling this electric field, or in a way by controlling this voltage, we can control the flow of current. For this reason, field effect transistor is also known as voltage controlled device. So now let us discuss why FET is known as an unipolar device. FET is known as an unipolar device because in FET there is only one type of charge carriers which take part in the physical process, that is either electrons or holes. In FETs there is only one type of charge carriers, that is electrons or holes, which take part in the physical process. In this basis, FETs can be divided into two parts, that is N-type FETs and P-type FETs. In N-type FETs, electrons is the charge carrier and in P-type FETs, holes is the charge carriers. Only one type of charge carriers are used in the physical process, either electrons or holes. So that's why FET is known as an unipolar device. Types of FETs. There are different types of FETs, but the mostly used type of FETs are JFET and MOSFET. JFET stands for Johnson Field Effect Transistor and MOSFET stands for Metal Oxide Semiconductor Field Effect Transistor. JFET is divided into two types, that is N-channel and P-channel. And MOSFET is further divided into two types, that is depletion and enhancement. And depletion is further divided into N and P, and enhancement is also further divided into N and P. This JFET stands for Johnson Field Effect Transistor. And in this video, we are going to describe only about JFET. JFET or Johnson Field Effect Transistor is divided into two parts, that is N-channel JFET and P-channel JFET. In N-channel JFET, the major portion is made up of N-type of material. This portion is made up of N-type of material and P-type of material is embedded into it. P-type of material is embedded into it, and this N-type of material forms a channel between these two P-types of embedded material. This N-type of material forms a channel between these two P-types of embedded material. So for this region, it is known as N-channel JFET. And in this P-channel JFET, the major portion is made up of, P-type of material and N-type of material is embedded into it. And this P-type of material forms channel between two embedded N-type of material. This P-type of material forms channel between these two embedded type of N-type of material. For this region, it is known as P-channel JFET. Before going to the depth of JFET, first let us see the symbol of JFET. Okay, we know that in JFET there is three terminal, that is drain, source and the gate. There is three terminal, that is drain, source and the gate. Only the arrow which is near this gate terminal determines the N-channel and P-channel JFET. And in P-channel JFET, the arrow is in outward direction, and in N-channel JFET, the arrow is in inward direction. This is P-channel JFET and this is N-channel JFET. Now we will see the construction of N-channel JFET. We know that in N-channel JFET, the major portion is made up of N-type of material. In N-channel JFET, this major portion is made up of N types of materials and two P types of materials is embedded into it. These N types of materials forms a channel between two embedded P types of material. For this region, this is known as N-channel JFET. We know that in JFET there is three terminals, 1, 2 and 3. In this structure we can see that there is 4 ohmic contacts. This one is our first ohmic contact, this is our second, third ohmic contact and fourth, ohmic contact. And this terminal is our drain terminal. This is our first ohmic contact and this is our drain terminal. This is our second ohmic contact and this is our source terminal. This is our third and fourth ohmic contact. They are joined together and single terminal is taken out, that is gate terminal. Drain terminal, source terminal and gate terminal, we have 4 ohmic contact. First, second, third and fourth. They are joined together to take out one single terminal, that is gate terminal. In N-channel JFET, there is 2 PN junctions. There is 2 PN junctions. First PN junction, this P and this N. This P and this N forms first PN junction and this P and this N forms second PN junction. So, there is 2 PN junctions and these 2 PN junctions forms 2 depletion layer. We will find 2 depletion layer over here. And when we apply voltage between the drain and the source terminal, this PN junction to increase with the increase in this voltage. The width of the depletion layer is related to the voltage applied. We will see this in our working part. So now let us discuss the working of N-channel JFET. We know that in N-channel, electrons is the majority carriers. Majority carriers, that is electrons flows here. So working of JFET, working of this N-channel JFET depends upon the voltage applied to its terminal. The working of N-channel JFET depends on the voltage applied to its terminal. So here we have 2 cases. Case number 1 is when VGS is equals to 0 and case number 2 is VGS is negative. So now we will discuss case 1, that is VGS is equals to 0. So here we need to make VGS 0. That is, we need to make this gate and the source terminal 0. So for that we will join this gate and the source terminal so that these two will be in same polarity. Gate is equals to 0 and source is equals to 0. To make this source 0, we will ground this. So here S becomes 0 and this gate becomes 0. So current must flow in this channel. So to make current flow in this channel, we will join a battery between drain and the source terminal. We will join this battery in such a way that the positive end of the battery is connected to the drain and negative end of the battery is connected to the source. This is positive and this is negative. So in respect to this battery, the drain becomes higher potential and the source becomes lower potential. So here this electrons is negative charge and the source also becomes negative because of this negative terminal of the battery. So we know that negative repulse. So here the electrons get repulsed by the source terminal and the drain terminal is positive terminal. So negative positive attract each other. So these electrons will get attracted by this drain terminal. So this electrons tends to move towards drain. We know that conventional current here ID tends to flow towards this direction because conventional current always flows opposite to the direction of electrons. That is, ID flows towards the source and electrons tends to move towards the drain. So, if we apply a battery, VDD is equals to 4 volt. Drain and the source voltage is VDS. Here VDS is equals to VDD. So here we applied VDS is equals to 4 volt. So the drain will be of, this will be a 4 volt, this will be a 4 volt, and as source is of 0 volt, so this will be of 0 volt. So here the question arises, what will be the potential in the middle? What will be the potential in this region? The potential decreases slowly, that is, let us consider 3 points over here, 1, 2 and 3. The potential decreases slowly, that means it is 4 volt over here, it will be 3 volt, it will be 2 volt and it will be 1 volt. So here let us see that this P is connected to the gate. This gate is of 0 volt. So this P is connected to 0 volt and N is connected to 3 volt. Here P is connected to lower potential and N is connected to higher potential. So here we are getting reverse bias condition. Here we are getting reverse bias conditions, and due to this reverse bias condition, this depletion layer, this will thicken. Here depletion layer will be more thicker upward than in lower part, because here there is more reverse bias condition over here, because N potential, N term is connected to higher potential than in this region. So here will be the reverse bias condition, and it will be a depletion layer will be thicker upward than in lower part. Now if we consider that this VDD is a variable source, if VDD is equals to 8 volt, what will happen if VDD is equals to 8 volt? If VDD is equals to 8 volt, then the drain terminal will be 8 volt. 8 volt. It will be more reverse bias condition over here. So it will lead to the increase in the depletion layer. It will lead to the increase in the depletion layer, and with the increase in depletion layer, here this channel will be narrower. This channel will be narrower, and here we will find the obstruction for the current to flow. The current which flow through this channel will get obstructed. When the depletion layer tends to meet each other, and there will be no current flowing in this channel. When the depletion layer nearly touch each other and no current flows through this channel, or the current gets saturated, that voltage in which the current gets saturated, and depletion layer nearly touch each other, and the channel will be narrower. This voltage called pinched off voltage. What do we mean by pinched off voltage? Pinched off voltage is that voltage, that certain voltage in which the depletion layer nearly touch each other and the channel becomes more narrower. There will be no current flowing through the channel and the current gets saturated. That voltage is called pinched off voltage. Note, in depletion layer, there will be no charge carriers. So now let us see this point once again. We have already talked that n channel ma majority charge carriers huncha electrons huncha र यो वर्क n channel कसरी वर्क हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ यहाँनेरि हाम्रो दुईटा कन्डिसन छ जब VGS 0 हुन्छ र VGS चाहिँ नेगेटिभ हुन्छ। यहाँनेरि हामी VGS 0 भएको केस कन्सिडर गर्दैछ। when VGS is equals to 0, गेट र सोर्स को भोल्टेजलाई नै 0 बनाउनु पर्ने छ र गेट र सोर्स को भोल्टेजलाई 0 बनाउनको लागि हामीले यहाँनेरि के गर्दैछ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ गेट र सोर्सलाई चाहिँ सेम पोटेन्शियलमा जोइन गर्दैछ अनि सोर्सलाई हामीले यहाँनेरि ग्राउन्ड गरेको छ so that this source becomes 0. अब यहाँनेरि VGS लाई त हामीले 0 बनाइहाल्यो र यहाँनेरि दिस च्यानलबाट करेन्ट फ्लो हुनुपर्छ अनि यो करेन्ट फ्लो गराउनको लागि हामीले यहाँनेरि एउटा के जोइन गर्यो, यहाँनेरि हामीले ड्रेन र सोर्स को बीचमा एउटा ब्याट्री जोइन गर्यो। यस्तो पाराले जोइन गर्यो कि पोजिटिभ टर्मिनल इज कनेक्टेड टु द ड्रेन and negative terminal of this battery चाहिँ सोर्स सँग कनेक्ट गरेको छ। यो ब्याट्रीलाई हामीले VDD भनेर नेम दियो। अब यहाँनेरि हामीले यो VDD चाहिँ हामीले 4 भोल्ट राखेको छ भने यहाँबाट 4 भोल्ट नै पास हुन्छ, 4 भोल्ट नै आउँछ अनि यो बीचको रिजनमा चाहिँ यो पोटेन्शियल के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ इन दिस मिडल रिजन पोटेन्शियल चाहिँ बिस्तारै डिक्रिज हुन्छ। जस्तै यहाँनेरि 3 भोल्ट, यहाँनेरि 2 भोल्ट, यहाँनेरि 1 भोल्ट अनि फाइनली 0 भोल्टमा पुग्छ। अनि यो पी स्ल्याब चाहिँ हाम्रो केसँग कनेक्ट भएको छ, गेटसँग। गेट कति छ, 0 भोल्टको छ भनेपछि यो पी लोअर पोटेन्शियलसँग कनेक्ट भएको छ र यो एन चाहिँ हायर पोटेन्शियलसँग कनेक्ट भएको छ। त्यसो गर्दाखेरि यहाँनेरि एउटा रिभर्स बायस कन्डिसन फर्म हुँदैछ। रिभर्स बायस कन्डिसन फर्म भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि यहाँनेरि डिप्लेसन लेयर ठीक हुँदैछ, डिप्लेसन लेयर इन्क्रिज हुँदै जाँदैछ र जति बेसी हामीले VDD इन्क्रिज गर्दै जान्छ, इफ हामीले VDD लाई 8 भोल्ट बनायो भने यहाँबाट पनि 8 भोल्ट नै आउँछ। त्यसो गर्दाखेरि यहाँनेरि मोर रिभर्स बायस कन्डिसन आउँछ। जति बेसी रिभर्स बायस कन्डिसन हुँदै जान्छ डिप्लेसन लेयर बढ्दै जान्छ। डिप्लेसन लेयर बढ्दै जाँदाखेरि यहाँनेरि हामीले यस्तो खालके पोइन्ट भेट्छ, यस्तो खालके भोल्टेज हुन्छ। सपोज 8 volt is that voltage. 8 voltage चाहिँ त्यो भोल्टेज अरे जहाँनेरि चाहिँ डिप्लेसन लेयरले नियरली टच गर्छ, एक अर्कालाई छुनै आँटेको हुन्छ र च्यानल पनि न्यारो भएको हुन्छ, करेन्ट पास गर्ने ठाउँ पनि हुँदैन, करेन्ट नै स्याचुरेटेड भएको हुन्छ। त्यो पोइन्टलाई चाहिँ हामी के भन्छ, पिन्च्ड अफ भोल्टेज। पिन्च्ड अफ भोल्टेज। So here we are clear that pinched off voltage is that voltage in which the depletion layer nearly touch each other and the channel becomes more and more narrower and their current will be saturated in this point. So case 2. So now let us discuss about case 2, that is VGS is equals to negative. Now we will see case 2, that is when VGS is negative. We need to make that VGS is negative. What will happen that if we make VGS is negative? When we make VGS negative, that is when we connect this gate to the negative terminal of a battery and source to the positive terminal of a battery, then this gate becomes then this gate becomes lower potential and this will be of higher potential. When the gate is in lower potential, this P type of material will be in lower potential and N will be in higher potential, because gate is in lower potential. When VGS is negative, when VGS is more and more negative, it will be in reverse bias condition, and in reverse bias condition the depletion layer will increase. When we apply VGS is negative, it will lead to the increase in depletion layer. And now when we join this source and the drain terminal, drain to the positive and source to the negative end of the battery, as in case 1, it will be in higher potential and it will be in lower potential. But here the difference in case 1 and case 2 is that due to this gate is in lower potential, the depletion layer has already increased. And when we apply this voltage VDD, it will lead to the increase in this depletion layer. But in this case 2, this depletion layer will increase more faster than in case 1, because this G has already increased this depletion layer, and when we apply VDD, we don't need to reach VDD is equals to 8 volt. The depletion layer or the pinch off voltage will be generated, or we will get this pinch off voltage, or the point when the depletion layer nearly touch each other we will get more faster than in case 1. We don't need to reach 8 volt. In नेपाली जब हामीले गेट र सोर्स को बीचमा एउटा भोल्टेज लाउँछ VGS, त VGS चाहिँ कस्तो छ, नेगेटिभ पोटेन्शियल को छ. गेट नेगेटिभ पोटेन्शियल को हुन्छ र सोर्स पोजिटिभ पोटेन्शियल को हुन्छ. त्यसो भन्दाखेरि गेट नेगेटिभ पोटेन्शियल को भयो भने यो चाहिँ मोर नेगेटिभ भएको हुन्छ. P टर्म यो P जुन चाहिँ छ यो चाहिँ मोर नेगेटिभ भएको हुन्छ र N जुन चाहिँ छ यो चाहिँ पोजिटिभ नै हुन्छ. अनि त्यसो भन्दाखेरि यहाँनेरि के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ P लोअर पोटेन्शियलमा आउँछ र N चाहिँ हायर पोटेन्शियलमा आउँछ. त्यसो गर्दाखेरि यहाँ के फर्म हुँदैछ, रिभर्स बायस कन्डिसन फर्म हुँदैछ. रिभर्स बायस कन्डिसन फर्म भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ यो डिप्लेसन लेयर चाहिँ अगाडि नै, यो भोल्टेज अप्लाई गर्नुभन्दा अगाडि नै डिप्लेसन लेयर चाहिँ के भएको हुन्छ, हाम्रो इन्क्रिज भएको छ. डिप्लेसन लेयर इन्क्रिज भएको छ. र जब हामीले यहाँनेरि ब्याट्री लाउँछ केस 1 मा 8 भोल्ट मा, सपोज 8 भोल्ट मा चाहिँ हामीले पिन्च अफ भोल्टेज पाएको थियो भने केस 2 मा चाहिँ हामीले 8 भोल्ट पनि नपुगिकन पिन्च अफ भोल्टेज पाउँछ. दैट्स व्हाई इन केस 2 we will put VGS negative. Why we consider VGS negative in case 2 भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ to get pinched off voltage faster than in case 1. And now let us see the output or drain characteristics of JFET. Now let us consider here N channel JFET. So now what is output or drain characteristic? That is, here we need to find ID versus VDS plot. This ID means drain current or output current, and this VDS means voltage between drain to source terminal. It is our output voltage. Here we need to obtain these characteristics for different levels of VGS, that is gate to source voltage. This is our input voltage or controlled voltage. There is different types of controlled voltage in N channel and P channel JFET. In N channel JFET, we know that VGS is more and more negative, and in P channel VGS must be positive. In N channel, gate is connected to lower potential in terms of source. So in JFET there is two terms, that is IDSS and BP. This IDSS is maximum drain current and this BP is the pinched off potential. Now let us talk about the condition to obtain IDSS. This IDSS is maximum drain current. To obtain this, VGS must be equal to 0 volt and VDS must be greater than the mode of BP. So in this case, IDSS must be equal to 8 milliamps and BP must be equal to minus of 4 volt. Okay. In x-axis we will plot VDS and in y-axis we will plot ID. So when VDS is 0, there will be no flow of current ID. That is, ID is equals to 0. When we increase VDS, that there will be the linear increase in the current ID. And at a certain point we will get a pinched off voltage and then the current will be saturated. This is the condition for VGS is equals to 0 volt. If this is for VGS is equals to minus of 1 volt, VGS is equals to minus of 2 volt, VGS is equals to minus 3 volt and VGS is equals to minus 4 volt. When we increase VDS, we will find a linear increase in the current ID. Then after a certain point, it will be saturated. This is for the different level of VGS. So here this is there is different layers and this is our ohmic layers. Ohmic layer or ohmic region. Here it follows Ohm's law, that is ID is directly proportional to this VDS and this to this. This is our saturation region or saturated region. Here the flow of current is constant and this is our pinched off voltage as VGS is equals to minus 4V and here we will find that there is no current flow in this region, so it is our pinched off region or pinched off voltage region. So this is our saturation region, but if we apply this voltage VDS, then there will be this sudden breakdown in this current. After a certain point, there will be the breakdown in the current. This is due to the maximum voltage applied, or this is due to the voltage VDS which causes the breakdown of this current, and this is our breakdown region. So here we find four regions, that is ohmic region, this is saturated region, this is breakdown region, and this is pinch off voltage region. Here the ID is directly proportional to VDS. Saturation region means that region where current is constant. Pinched off region is that region where there is no flow of current, and breakdown region is that region which is caused by the maximum voltage VDS, which causes the maximum current to flow inside the circuit or the device. Now we will see transfer characteristic. So first question that arises here is, what is transfer characteristics? Transfer characteristics is the ID versus VGS plot, that is drain current or output current. Output current versus VGS means gate to source voltage, that is input voltage. Keeping VDS constant. This is our output voltage. Drain to source voltage constant. Transfer characteristic is the drain current versus VGS plot, keeping VDS constant. We know that ID is the function of VGS, or this VGS can control the flow of current ID. The relationship or the equation for the ID is ID, this drain current, is equals to IDSS 1 minus VGS by VP whole square. This IDSS is maximum drain current, and this term is constant. This VP is pinched off voltage, and this is also constant. And VGS is gate to source voltage, and this is control variable. This term, this equation is non-linear. This equation is non-linear because of this square. So the relationship between ID and IDSS is ID is equals to IDSS 1 minus VGS by VP whole square. So now we can find the transfer characteristic by using this equation and also by using this drain characteristic, output or drain characteristic. So here we will use this output or drain characteristic to find this transfer characteristic. We will plot this is our 0, this is our ID, and this is our VGS. VGS minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and minus 4. So what we need to do here is we need to draw a vertical line. showing this VGS is equals to 0 with this point, and this VGS is equals to minus of 1 with this point. VGS is equals to minus of 2 with this point. And this point with this point, and this is 0, and we will mark the points 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we will obtain the transfer characteristic. This will be our transfer characteristics. We will get graph. This is our VGS and this is our ID. We will get graph like this. Now let us discuss about the parameters of FET parameters. So these parameters are used to determine the performance of the FETs. These are used to determine the performance of the FETs. The mostly used types of parameters are transconductance, amplification factor and AC drain resistance. So now let us discuss about this transconductance. This transconductance is denoted by Gm. It is the ratio of small change in drain current to the corresponding change in gate to source voltage. Small change in drain current to the corresponding small change in gate to source voltage, keeping VDS is equals to constant. That is, transconductance is the small change in drain current to the it is the ratio of small change in drain current to the small change in VGS, keeping VDS is equals to constant. This VDS is equals to constant. Another FET parameter is amplification factor, and this amplification factor is denoted by mu. It is the ratio of small change in drain to source voltage to the corresponding small change in gate to source voltage. Amplification factor is denoted by mu, and it is the ratio of small change in drain to source voltage to the small change in gate to source voltage, keeping ID constant. This ID is the drain current. Another main parameter of FET is AC drain resistance. It is denoted by RD. It is the ratio of small change in drain to source voltage to the corresponding small change in drain current. AC drain resistance is the small change in ratio of small change in drain to source voltage to the corresponding small change in drain current, keeping VGS or gate to source voltage constant. AC drain resistance is denoted by RD. It is the small change in drain to source voltage. It is the ratio of small change in. Let us discuss about the applications of JFET. There are many applications of JFET, but in this video I am going to point out only some of the applications of JFET. Number one application is it is used as a switch. It is used as an amplifier. It is used in digital circuits such as computers, memory cards, etc. because of its small size. This point shows that JFET is small in size. It is used in communications equipment such as in FM and TV receivers because of its low modulation distortion. It is used as voltage controlled resistors in operational amplifier. So now at last let us compare between BJT and FET. BJT and FET. This BJT stands for bipolar junction transistor, and this FET stands for field effect transistor. BJT is also known as bipolar device. And FET is also known as unipolar device. In BJT, both type of charge carriers takes place in physical process, and in FET only one type of charge carrier takes place, that is either electrons or holes. BJT, it is bigger compared to FET, and this FET is smaller than BJT. BJT is current controlled device, whereas FET is voltage controlled device. The three terminals of BJT are base, emitter and collector, and the three terminals of FET are gate, drain and the source. So now here we come at the end of our video. So at last I would like to thank each and everyone for watching my video. Thanks so much.